All right, let's jump right in. Today, we're going to flip the script on some of the most common financial advice that women hear. We're going to explore a really powerful strategy that puts your financial independence first, right from the very beginning.
And this is the heart of our entire explainer. It really pushes back against this huge, ingrained idea about what a woman's first big financial goal should be. So, we're going to unpack what happens when you decide to build your own wealth first, using one of the most powerful forces in finance, compounding.
So let's break this down. We'll start with something I like to call the wedding goal trap. There's just this immense pressure for a wedding to be the #1 savings priority, right? But what if that's actually steering you down the completely wrong financial path?
Take a look at this number, 20 lakhs. That's a pretty common price tag for a wedding in India today. I mean, that is a massive amount of money, and for so many women, it's the very first major goal they're told or even expected to save for. Okay, now hold that thought. What if I told you that in just 10 years, that same wedding could cost this much? 50 lakhs. How in the world is that possible? Well, it's all because of this hidden financial force that's always working against your savings, inflation.
And here's the culprit. Wedding-specific inflation is just staggering. It runs at about 8 to 10% every single year. And that's not your normal inflation rate. It's way higher. This means if you're just putting money in a savings account for this goal, you are literally losing ground every year. It's like you're running on a treadmill, but the wedding cost is blasting off in a rocket ship.
Okay, so if just saving isn't enough, then what is? This brings us to the core of our whole conversation today, the compounding flip. This is about choosing a totally different path, one that leads to real financial power and, real control over your life.
So you can see here, it's really a tale of two paths. On the one hand, you have the traditional path. It's often this difficult uphill climb that can lead to debt or dependency right at the start of a marriage. But then there's the compounding path. This is all about building a foundation of freedom and security for yourself first. It's about growth, it's about opportunity. And that gives you way more choices in every other part of your life.
So what is this magic we keep talking about? Compounding. Put simply, it's when your investment returns start to earn their own returns. It's like a snowball rolling downhill. It starts small, but it picks up snow, gets bigger and faster, and just grows exponentially over time. This is the real engine of building wealth.
All right, let's look at how this actually works in the real world. How can you use compounding to beat that crazy wedding inflation we were just talking about? How do you actually make your money work harder for you so it's not just keeping up, but getting ahead?
Believe it or not, it can start with a surprisingly small amount, 3,000 rupees a month. We're not talking about some huge chunk of money you have to find. We're talking about a consistent, totally achievable amount that you invest regularly through something called a systematic investment plan, or SIP.
And this slide right here, it shows you the most important ingredient of all, time. Seriously, the real key is to start early, ideally right when you get your first job. That 10-year runway is where the magic of compounding really gets to work and starts to pick up speed.
So what happens to that 3,000 rupees a month over 10 years? Well, with pretty reasonable market returns, you could build a fund of 5 to 6 lakhs. That's a serious chunk of money, and it all grew from those small, consistent steps. It's real, tangible proof that this process works.
And here is the most crucial point. An investment-first strategy isn't just about saving money. It's about outpacing those rising costs. By aiming for returns that can deliver, say, 10–12%, your money is now in that rocket ship, growing faster than the wedding costs that are chugging along at 8–10%. You're not just keeping up anymore, you're getting ahead.
But look, true financial independence is about so much more than just one event. This strategy isn't just a clever trick to pay for a wedding. It's about building a financial fortress to secure your entire future against all of life's other big costs. Let's be real. There are financial hurdles that are often unique to a woman's life and career. Things like taking a maternity gap, maybe a mid-career break for family, and later on, the financial responsibility of caring for elderly parents. These are big life events, and having a strong financial cushion isn't a luxury, it's an absolute necessity to get through them with confidence. So how do you actually build this cushion? Here's a concrete plan. Dedicate about 20% of your income to long-term compounding. This could be through things like tax-saving equity funds, which are called ELSS, or by making sure you have good term insurance. This creates a powerful safety net that's designed for these exact kinds of challenges. And what's the potential long-term payoff for being so disciplined? Look at this number. By consistently following this strategy, you could build a corpus of 1 to 2 crores by the time you're 40. I mean, that's not just security, that is life-changing financial freedom.
Now this is really, really important. Marriage often means joining your finances, which is great for teamwork, but it is absolutely vital to keep your own personal SIPs and investments going. Your financial independence is yours, and you have to keep feeding it and growing it to make sure it doesn't get diluted over time.
Okay, so we've covered the what and the how. Now let's get personal. This last section is all about turning this information into your plan, and it starts by asking yourself some of the right and sometimes pretty tough questions.
Let's start with this one. Take a really honest look at your current financial plan. Is it basically structured to pay for one specific event, maybe even by taking out loans? Or is it built on a foundation of your personal goals first?
Next, let's think bigger. We know that family costs are going to go up. Does your plan actually account for that? Is your money actively compounding and growing to meet those future needs, like a maternity break or helping your parents? Or are you just kind of hoping you'll figure it out when you get there?
And this is the ultimate stress test. If you had to step away from your career tomorrow, for any reason at all, is your financial safety net strong enough to catch you without causing a total panic? Does your plan give you that kind of freedom?
And this brings us right back to that big provocative idea we started with. What if prioritizing your own financial strength isn't selfish at all? What if it's actually the most strategic, most empowering thing you can do? What if building your own wealth is the single best way to empower yourself to make the best choices for your family, completely on your own terms?
So what's next? Don't just let this be interesting info you heard. Take action. First, go online and just play around with an SIP calculator. Project your goals, see what's possible. Second, start looking into women-focused investment options like ELSS funds. And third, have a really honest conversation with yourself about your family's unique financial risks. The power to build your future is right there, and it's waiting for you to start compounding it.